Привет. Продолжаем проходить диско Elysium. Давайте сначала расследуем вот это вот место, то есть дело об каких-то странных чуваках, которые там живут где-то, не знаю, гудящей машине, так сказать, какой-то.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it.
Заблокировано. Хорошо. Блин, а что делать-то?
As before, an iron sink. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here. Again, your voice becomes a raspy croak mid-sentence. It's silent in the abandoned office building. Sire, may we suggest something? Think of the yelling into the furnace as a grand performance. Use your chest voice, not your head voice. Sing from the diaphragm. Perhaps it's not such a bad idea. Try to get...
Хорошо. Еще раз нам дают вторую возможность, так сказать. Поехали.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace,
Еще раз,
coloring
да?
it pitch black. Another pathetic yelp sounds off into the vast darkness of the chimney. You're a little embarrassed you produced it.
Пиздец. Заебись.
The beer's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting.
Пиздец, ребят. Пиздец. Да. Ну ладно, пойдемте осматривать труп. О, пацан играет, пиздюк. С трупом, причем, лол. Буква R украшена короной. Ниже надпись на ленте свет над погружением. Это логотип университета Ревашоля. Да, Куна, съеби его. Ой, лол. Воняет протухшим мясом и скисшим молоком, разлагающейся человеческой плотью.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Ну давайте. Что? И что происходит? И снова здравствуйте. Здорово.
Despair creeps into you.
Здорово, здорово.
Getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer,
слабостью душу
it's eaten them all up.
каким Какими бы ни были благородными твои порывы, как полицейского, оно сжирает их.
You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particularly challenging district. But poverty does not make one a loser. Poverty is just poverty.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now.
И...
Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned
Еще
from
один
the
офицер
RPM following a nervous
покинул
breakdown.
ГРМ после
He now lives
нервного
under
срыва.
a
Теперь
bridge,
живет под
drinking
мостом.
and occasionally throwing
Пьет, иногда
excrement
кидается
at
экскрементами,
passers-by,
прохожих кричит: «Я
shouting,
не
"I
люблю
never loved
женщин».
that woman." When asked to comment,
Интересуюсь.
former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. It's because the Furrows lost that match, said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any
Ну, просто
theories,
заебался, вот и
merely
все.
saying,
Лол. Прикольно. Прикольно. Ну, просто заебался.
there are several footprints. Heavy workers, isn't this something an industrial worker would? Maybe more than 12. No.
Может,
8
больше
pairs
12,
of
нет,
boots have
8 пар
shuffled
ботинок
back and
оставили
forth in
следы
the mud.
в грязи. Тихо. Загрузить, да.
There are several footprints in heavy worker's boot. Isn't this something
Noted.
maybe more than 12? No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced. 3. Hobnailed work. 4. Standard work boot. Number 40. You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved. 5. Another standard work boot. Steel reinforced. 6. An aberration. Light as air. Even pace. Same make of boot, but number 41.
Скорее всего, баба была.
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it. In a 7, the glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight
200 килограмм,
exceeds
ни хрена себе.
200 kilograms. 8, and yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother.
How many?
$400 миллионов.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? $200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Да.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? A woman? Or a kid? Okay, how do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? Interesting. Let's name it the old soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Mm-hmm. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Ravachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking to himself.
Either way. What else?
Быстрое сохранение. Давайте потихонечку. Что это такое? Ага. Магний, боевой дух. Это что? Кто-то пытается выращивать травы в теплице. Окей. Подъемный механизм ржавеет уже не первый год. Это что?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, eternite.
Кровельного материала. Извечнита. Что это?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Да нет, мне кажется, там проход
Glad
есть.
you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented eternite in the Vartna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect.
Воздействие. Ну, давайте попробуем.
Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the
Ну,
eyes.
там проход есть по-любому.
Rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff.
Ритмические рисунки успокаивают разум. Такие вещи. Уйти, блять. Проверку проебал. Ага. Ага. Ну, тут, наверное, как-то можно пройти вот так вот, типа туда. Вот, видите, я проебал момент. И тут как-то можно вот сюда вот пройти. Хорошо. Построена для детей, лестница сильно шатается, но забраться по ней можно. На покумпе.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath.
Естественно, там теперь вонище пиздец. Ебанешься.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
Рожать нос и пытаться сдержать рвотный порыв. 3%. Пиздец. Я не смогу это сделать. Стойкость. Да, конечно же, нет.
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from...
И? Пиздец. Ебать, там вонище, конечно, жесткое. Неудивительно.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst pipe, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fruit store nearby.
Пиздец. Давайте с пиздюком поговорим. Ну, давай. Вот он. Ой, смотрите, как он уродливый, блядь. Посмотрите, как он уродливый, блядь. Это просто пиздец.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Если можно говорить, что дети бывают уродливыми, то вот тебе самый подходящий образец. Его уродство почти можно назвать изысканным, как у Гремлина. Он действительно уродливый, просто пиздец. Как я сразу и сказал.
Kuno.
На покумпе. Пич девчонка из-за забора.
Right in the dick, Kuno. Get him
Прям
right
в
in the dick.
ебку, нахуй, я просто.
Love it in the dick.
Пидоры любят хер. Лол.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Выеби этого пидора Куна. Да, прямо в ёбуч.
Shit
Пидор
himself.
обосрался. Да.
The rake, Kuno. You should throw the rake
Пиздани
at him,
его граблями.
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is?
Куна в душе
Kuno
не
is not
ебет,
a
что такое
gardener.
грабля. Куна же не огородник. Ким.
We shouldn't do anything.
Не готов играть с
I
такими
don't tempt
силами.
such forces.
Какими
You will
силами?
see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id.
Это чисто
There would
необузанный
be no
ид.
reasoning with those
С этими
creatures.
зверьками не договориться.
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us
Она
Kuno.
со Питер.
He says we're fucking each
Мы
other.
с друг другом поримся. Хитрить жестко, 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 жестко. Ну, прикольно.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
Пиздец.
Irregular speech patterns, overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs? This warrants further investigation into this Kuno.
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno. Pig's choking. He's totally joking.
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
The usual being, have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Or have you seen anything suspicious?
Kuno's fucking.
Это
Kuno uses the
Кунов
fucking for target
еблерап.
practice.
Мишень Терекун.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. Trying to make the Kuno sing into the popo phone. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
The city's too large for him to have left. But he wasn't here either. So where was he?
Told you, pig bacon. Kuno doesn't do regional. Kuno's been to places you wouldn't dream of. Fucking Mesk, or I don't know, some other place. Night City.
Найт
Kuno was in
Сити.
fucking
Найт
Night City.
Сити. Куна был в ебаном Найт Сити. Это отсылка на Кибербаг 2077. Или Киберпук 2077. Ну, блядь, слушайте, мощно. Мощная отсылка.
There is no Night City
Нет никакого
anywhere.
Найт Сити.
That sounds like
Звучит
the
как
name
название
of a
города
city
из
in some
бульварного
pulp
фантастического
science fiction
романа.
novel.
Лол. Ебать, они стебут. Они стебут, короче, этот киберпанк. Это вымышленное название. Найт Сити не существует. А где находится Найт Сити?
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't
Приебался.
been where Kuno's been. You haven't been in Kuno's head. You want to know where Kuno was? You want to know what Kuno's been fucking up to?
Oh, don't tell him that, Kuno. It's lame.
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's City. Night City. Rage City. The City of Rage. That's it. And it's not lame.
Lame.
That's the name of Kuno's City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that.
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment. If it's important, it'll come up later. Focus on the case.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
Looks like you're a fagari now, whatever that means. The suspicious question doesn't really work in antagonistic situations.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Вали, Питер.
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it? That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind. Lazy dicks.
Пиздяй оставили. Лол.
He's hiding something.
Pig, if Kuno was hiding something, it would be hidden.
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March?
Кстати, да.
Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds.
Да, грядки те самые.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
No, it's not fucking Kuno's. It's ancient. Look at it.
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno. He says you climb the ladder up to your magic tree house.
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic treehouse. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Тиун.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Ну, лол.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Он же хуй достает.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in there in Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Ну-ка, сколько? 28%. Маловато, конечно. Не бить его, это плохая идея. Передумать. Давайте грубой силой. Ну-ка, получится, нет? О. Да.
You didn't shut him down. Your fat fist didn't meet its target. Instead, it pulled you down with it.
Да.
Pigs trying not to cry. Kuno can't believe this shit. Can no one stop the Kuno? Pig, Kuno thought you had this. What happened? Kuno can't do anything now.
Fucked your shoulder, fucked your knee, fucked your fat body up!
The creature behind the fence makes it a point to laugh. It's a dry laugh, mirthless. She's not even actually enjoying this. She only wants to hurt you.
Kuno made you his fucking...
Надо вовремя нажимать эту хуйню, видимо.
The lieutenant isn't laughing at all.
Kuno's just gonna beat the shit out of you again.
I told you not to tempt such forces. Now, how about we go and do something worth the public's time?
Блядина ебучая, блядь. Вот это фейл. Вот это фейл, чуваки.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
Ну давайте, блядь, все равно я ее не открою, нихуя. Да. Давайте еще поговорим с... Это что такое вообще? Огромные були, шары достойны настоящего мужика. Похоже, эти повреждения могли появиться в результате землетрясения. О как.
We're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
Так, я нашел новый буль. Что в этом старом слайде такого, чтобы этому столько гордость? Низкий шанс. Самообладание.
What is this? Are you mocking us?
Старый
This isn't
ветеран
for
молодости,
betonk.
вместо нет этого.
Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
Trying is worth as much as is accomplished. In this case, almost nothing. Fine. You try to right a wrong. It's still a gram better than actual nothing.
Уже чуть лучше, чем ничего.
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I understand. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you. These BMs are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
8%, блять. Пока дочь на стриме. Давай, давай. Пой туда. Еще раз пока, да. Давай, покеда. Благодарю за беседу. Ну, давайте поговорим с этой подругой для начала.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago. Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Пиздит. Пиздит.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. %. Давайте. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see?
Блять. Давайте загрузим.
I can't believe it. It felt like springtime. Sure, go easy on that stuff. Well, snow has
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
nitrogen and sulfur mostly.
Зато серо.
And whatever
Лол.
factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess. A bit much? What are you talking about? That's what my grandma told me, okay?
She feels interrogated now. It's hard to say if she's lying.
Relax, miss. This is not an interrogation. We are just checking some facts.
All you can see
Да
is
иди
the
ты
fact that her
нахуй.
skin is a different color from yours. That's a
Вот это я буду перезагружать. Почему? Потому что я неправильно начал, потерял контент, перезагрузился, а в первый раз у меня было то, что я прокинул нормально. То есть все, то есть у меня удача была.
It felt like springtime. Sure, go easy
Поэтому-
on that stuff. Well, snow has
Yes, think about the
nitrogen and a bit much.
she.
Relax, miss. This is not an interrogation.
Stop looking
Вот,
at her.
отлично.
Look around. What do you see?
Площадь, проход во двор, пробку. А что я вижу? Пробку. Площадь.
That's right.
Именно.
And the
Еще
canal,
канал.
the bookstore, the harbor
Нижний
gates.
магазин.
This
Портовые
is a
ворота.
great
Это идеальная
vantage
позиция
point
для наблюдения за
for
тобой.
keeping an eye on you.
Скажи-ка, ты не шпионишь за нами, ясно?
No, of course not. I don't understand what this is
В
about.
сторону двора.
The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without...
Без
Or
пидоров и кипт.
He's always giving me trouble. Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job, but that kid is beyond help. And he certainly won't help
Ну, я должен
you.
был поговорить. Я понимаю, что он не поможет, но, типа, контент.
You've been resting here for quite a while, haven't you?
Yes, I'm tired.
Угу. Очень
I
сильно.
understand. The RCM isn't welcome here, and the locals want to keep an eye on us.
There's silence, the smallest of smiles.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do. I think we're done here. Let's go.
Угу. Хорошо. Поехали внутрь. Так, сохранились. Давайте поговорим с... Ага, тут.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it. The sentiment is called anti-centennial nostalgia, pining for a time before the turn of the century. It's common even now, after 50 years.
Хорошо.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant nods politely. Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Давайте вот так.
Take heart, officer. You're still a man in your prime.
Понятно.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Вербуй. Ой, лол. Серьезно? Зайки, нужны денежки. Зайкам дают денежки. Ну и лол, давай
Oh,
попробуй.
sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager
Ее
about
лицо
your
становится
financial
очень...
troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
Что такое получки, такого не видал.
You must be joking.
Шутите.
Although our pay does sometimes
Очень
feel
наша
like a
зарплата и
joke.
правда. Смех один.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everard, the union leader.
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
Давите на жалость. 42%. Блять, ну давайте попробуем.
Your
Успех
deportment
есть.
remains dignified
Не теряй достоинства,
as you
сохраняй
shed a
самку,
single
ты роняешь
manly
скупую
tear.
мужскую слезу. Очень стыдно таком просить, но я совсем поиздержался. Мне помогла бы любая сумма. Лол.
Sweetie, I only have a
Зайка,
few
у меня
cents
при себе
on me,
лишь
but
пара сантимов.
I could give you
Но
this to
она
pawn.
отстегивает с
just
левого
to
кармана
tide you over.
куртки. Золотой значок роняет тебе в ладонь. Она отстегивает с левого кармана куртки. Золотой значок. Ничего себе. Возьми ее, можно заложить, а авось продержишься.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and
Значок круглый,
slightly
слегка
tarnished.
поцарапанный рельеф.
3 sailboats in bass
За
relief,
ними вода
with
и
the sun
солнце.
hovering over the water behind them. A
Написано
chipped green
Сан-Батист,
banner at
это
the bottom
31
reads,
регата.
San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races. You could totally sell
Этот
this
значок
pin
вполне
for
можно
cash.
загнать. Лол. Такое заложить. Что такое заложить?
It's easy. You bring a valuable item to a pawnbroker, who then gives you money for it. You can get it back later for a slightly larger sum if it hasn't been sold, but you never end up doing that anyway.
Ну да, естественно.
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful. You're quite welcome, dear. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right?
Правда, не знаю, в каком-то клоповнике. В зоне боевых действий на краю света, в загробном мире. Мы выбрали и стали призраками.
That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself
На
located?
краю цивилизованного мира. В аду, мы все в аду. В том и суть я понять не имею.
We're in the city of
Говорит на текст
Revshol,
тревожный
dear.
взгляд. В городе Ревашоле, зайка. Ревашоль — это разжалованная столица мира, как-то так? Если честно, дулю с маком не знаю про Ревашоль, что это за место.
Yes, great. See? We're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city of splendor? Tattered as she may be,
Если честно, дулю с маком не знаю про Ревашоль, что
how would
это
I even begin to tell you? Revshol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're
Да-да-да.
fortunate to be here, you and I.
Повезло пиздец.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revshol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
973. Я знаю одно, блядь, за конец времен. Это верно. Это верно. Это верно. Вот. Вот, это верно. Плохой год для человека, хорошо так с ракет. Или уже за полтос, я не знаю даже, сколько мне лет.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be
Верно,
rewarded.
золото, замечательно. Вот, возьми эту ручку, знания должны награждаться.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
У нас фор направления, ёбаный ты, брат. Полицейские нами правят копы. Но у нас какая-то демократия. Хочется верить, что диктатура пролетариата, но что-то подсказывает, что это не так. Наши правители, грозные воины, в живцах 13 вещь перед нами управляют разумные машины. Они подсчитывают, как получить самый свободный рынок. Те обстряпывают дела и пашут как не в себя, как и подобает крутым визионерам. Наше восприятие реальности искажают, а нашим разумом управляет при помощи радио. Это нужно, чтобы скрыть наших истинных правителей, иностранцев и женщин. Да, это типа обсер, так сказать, да, ну, расистов, так сказать, и этих, как их там называют, ну, сексистов и так далее по списку. Полицейские нам выполняют копы. Ну, у нас какая-то демократия. Ну, я отвечу вот так.
Oh, no. Nothing like that, dear. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition.
У нас почти нет.
We have almost no government of our own.
О, видите, тут здесь, во, матриарх, вот, они, ну, авторы и вот этот вот героиня, да, скажем так, вот NPC, вот это вот, как это назвать, вот это вот, как это сказать, ну, это не героиня, это неправильно я сказал, вот эта вот NPC, она поняла, на что я намекаю, поэтому вот, про матриархат.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brave.
Теперь, о, еще, да, авторы, конечно, да. Вот теперь напугана. Поняла, что правда мне делал, собственно, неполноценно. Ну и что, как я исправил заданиями? Вы упомянули революцию. Что это?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
Вот этот вот тип тоже мутный, кстати. Вот это вот, что-то не то. Что-то в нем не то.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much. Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
No, dear. I'm not quite that old, although I was injured in the line of duty. Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the Revacholian flag on some figurative peak. I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail-order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere in, well, Once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays. No problem. Whatever do you mean?
Приглашаю вас стать моей напарницей, ездить на кресле, убирать трупы задних дворов, ловить серийных убийц. Вот так просто вспомнил текст одной песни Wanna Roll With Me, айда, мол, покатаем.
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
Можно одного брать только. Напарник.
A partner who needs you
Парня,
to
который
help
без
him get a
вас не
corpse
сможет
stolen from a
снять
tree.
тело с дерева. Точно, Ким, совсем забыл о тебе. Знаю, но есть ведь побочные загадки, серийные убийцы, паранатуральные явления. Кстати, да. Да, Ким, пожалуй, ты прав.
I can assure you with
Заверяю
absolute
вас без
certainty,
малейших
there are
сомнений, в
no
Мартинезе не
sequence killings
совершается
taking place in
серийных убийств.
Martinez.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie. Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down. Perhaps another time. Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Прикольно. Хорошо, давайте сохранимся. Бабку развели на бабло. Так, тут смотрите. Открылась дверь, точнее.
Can I help you?
Мусорный бак на задней дворе твой.
Mine? No,
Ой,
it
нет.
belongs to
Часть
the Whirling and
таки.
Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out.
Что
That's
принцип жизни
why.
за его зачем?
And the
Соседи,
neighbors
они
too.
скидывают туда
They
мусор,
put their
а за
trash
вывоз
there.
не
They don't
платят.
pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with
Я
access
так и
to the
думал,
trash
то есть
container?
вы единственный, у кого есть доступ. Я так и думал, то есть вы единственный, у кого есть доступ к мусорному баку.
Well, yes.
Ну да, не
Us
считая
and the
транспортной
garbage
компании.
disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Вот оно что.
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling and Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought.
Такое ощущение, что это
or
какой-то
Mazovianism.
Карл Маркс, а не Мазов.
He killed himself.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
Перейти на шепот, указать на свой затылок. Что если я правда Красмаз? Нет, погоди, перейти на шепот. Да, вернемся к
Was
баку.
there something you wanted?
Что-то хотели?
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash
Мусорный
container?
Мусорный бак.
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Достает из-под стойки ключи и протягивает тебе. Только верните, пожалуйста, когда закончите. Насчет денег, которые я тебе должен. Я кое-что видел в танцах Гарта, хочу об этом поговорить. Кстати, я собирался спеть здесь под караоке.
Absolutely out of the
Абсолютно
question.
исключено.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire.
Тело.
What theme?
Что? Союз.
Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
On time, типа он намекает на то, что он ему не заплатил.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Он со значением кивает. Стоит выяснить, кто эти крикуны, значит разговорчивые. Нам нужна информация. Как нам их найти?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on strike.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Сейчас уже больше 16, на табличке было написано зарезервировано на 16. Почему столовая по-прежнему пусто?
Good question.
Значит, ну еще кафетерия.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or playing low after the, lynching. They probably fucking killed that guy or
Да
something.
потому что они, небось, убили там мужика. Вот почему. Ага. А
I
раньше
have
ты
a
не
feeling
мог это
we'll make
сказать.
their acquaintance sooner or later.
Думается, что мне подсказывает, что рано или поздно мы с ними познакомимся. Да естественно.
What?
By the
Уставший.
way, you should come back to this
Этим расспросом
thing-based
вернуться, если потом
questionnaire if
увидишь
you
в
see
танцах еще
anything
что-нибудь
interesting in the
интересное.
whirling later.
Значит, так. До свидания. Ну, давайте сохранимся вот здесь и сделаем, так сказать, обрезку. Вот. Сделаем обрезку и продолжим в следующей части. Сколько стримчик идет? Час. Ну, нормально. Нормально.